What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, so I am going to show you what I believe is the cheapest C5 in the country. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody getting a better deal than this on a car that isn't a total piece of crap. So, all right, and I apologize in the start of this video. This video is going to be all over the place because there's a kind of a story to this car. And I'll start kind of walking around it, showing you what it is. So following this part of the video, you'll see that this car was in a little bit of an accident right here. A truck ran it over. So this is my finished project. I put zero money into this. All I did was wipe the tire scuffing off and then pulled the bumper off and glued it from the back to keep the cracks. So there's a crack right there that you can barely see a hairline, and a pretty big crack right there. But see the video following this part to see what happened there. Okay, so when these guys first listed this car, they listed it for $11,000. It's a 98 with 94,000 miles. Okay, I ran the VIN on it. First I offered them $9,000, which they said they would do $9,500. And then I ran the VIN number on the car, and it shows that the car's a rebuilt title. And I believe they didn't know that because they got it from some other old guy. So it was some kind of weird scenario with how they got the car. I guess they did some work on a house for some old guy, whatever. Anyways, okay, so then I let them know that I said, did you know that it's a rebuilt title and that the car was crashed in the past? They had no idea, apparently. Okay, and then once they did that, I was like, oh man, that chops the value way down for me. So then she had asked what I would be willing to buy the car for. And when a customer, or when somebody says that, you know they're desperate to get rid of it. Like if we're already negotiating really low and then they say, well, what are you willing to pay for it? I did a little bit of research. And what I had offered her, God, what was it? I think I offered her $6,500 at that point, as long as everything was good on the car. So I show up to the car to check it out. These wheels were almost black. They were so dirty, like they were caked on. I spent about an hour and a half to 2 hours getting all the nastiness off these wheels. They look brand new now. Okay, it has brand new tires. It has custom aftermarket seats. As you can see, they're in very good condition. That's like a couple $1,000s to have that kind of work done. Okay, so I showed up. The AC wasn't working on the car. The car looked like the gauge had low oil pressure, which I was concerned about. And then I seen that the oil hadn't been changed for like 7 years or something. This just sat in some old guy's garage and he didn't put hardly any miles on it. Okay, then there was, what else was it? Just a bunch of small things like that. The tire sensor, one of the tire sensors were bad. There was a couple other things. It just needed a really good cleaning, and as you can see, I've done that. So I was just, the top doesn't really, the seal doesn't seal perfectly, so you can tell it's going to leak if somebody sprays water in there to clean it. So it needs new seals on the top or an adjustment on the top. I'm just going to send it as it is, and just tell the person that buys it to be careful as they're power washing it. Okay, but the top itself is in good condition. Okay, I just had the windows tinted. When I took this car to my tinter, let me get to the price first. So you could tell the lady was just sick of looking at the car. She's like, and she screwed herself when she said these words. She's like, what will you give me for it? I just want it gone. And as soon as she said that, oh, I knew I had her big time. That's the negotiation master in me. As soon as I hear words like that and just see that somebody's frustrated and they want the car gone because they want their cash, that's like Christmas to me. So I knew at that point, she's like, I'll just take $6,000 for it. And I wasn't really reacting to that. And I just kept looking at the car, and the blower motor was being really glitchy and wasn't working. So the car just has a bunch of small issues like that, okay, which I know that I can fix. So after a few more minutes of looking at the car, I said, you know what, it's worth about $5,000 cash to me. And she's like, okay, let's do it. So I bought this car, drove it home for $5,000, guys. A freaking LS1 350 horsepower Corvette with low miles, 94,000. All right, so then I get the car, I drop it off to my tinter because there's zero tint in the windows. Okay, and I thought it would look really good with some tint, so it does have a full tint job. All right, and then at my tinter shop, somebody ran the car over with their truck. Apparently their truck was parked on this side of it and they didn't see the car, and so they crunched the front bumper. And I did my best to repair it, and I have zero money into this repair. Yet me and the guy decided that $1,200 would be fair to not go through his insurance and not have a claim on his, because my body shop guy said it would be about $2,000 to $3,000 to fix that properly. So I just said, screw it, I'll just patch it up as good as I can. I was originally thinking about putting a bra on it. I mean, it is a rebuilt title car. That front bumper was hit and the rear bumper was also hit. So that's what led to the rebuilt title. It was on the side, no airbags deployed, no frame damage. So, okay, so at that point, after tint and getting paid $1,200 for the accident, that brings my total cost of this car, guys, down to $3,900. As of right now, that's what I'm sitting into this car. With chrome custom wheels, with new tires, new custom seats, low mileage, just past emissions. So I am easily going to double my money on this car. I'm going to list this car for, I'm just going to high book it at first. The book value on this car is $16,500, which obviously there's no way it's worth that. Okay, but I listed the car at $9,995. So best case scenario, I get it sold for $10,000. Worst case scenario is I'll get 9 out of it. Okay, so that's gonna be more than doubling my money just by putting in some elbow grease and fixing that accident. That lowers the cost of the car for me. And I believe that this is a $10,000 car all day. I mean, it's a C5 Corvette. So yeah, it's rebuilt title, but I mean, look, the rear bumper was hit right here. Obviously it looks good right there. And then the front bumper was hit on the same side in the accident. So it looks really good. And as I mentioned, it was fixed 8 years ago. So tell me what you guys think. Have you guys seen any C5s in decent condition for less than this price? I drove it home for, I'm into it $3,900 after the accident, as I mentioned, and I just did that. I fixed everything myself, just a few hours of tinkering with the car and fixing a couple of random things here and there and cleaning it up. And here we are, guys. So we'll see what it sells for. I'll be sure to post in the comments